Dynamo Nation, what's going on? It's James. Week 11's in the books. Week 12 is on us. We need to be finessing the waiver wires now. Period. Those every week start and set starters on IDP are gone. You know it, I know it. And they're not coming back. People aren't just going to start dropping these guys. So we have to outwork, outthink, out-hustle everyone else in our leagues to secure these wins. In the IDP side of things, if you're in a deep league and you're starting 10, 11 IDP players, 100% makes all the difference in the world. If you have a sorry IDP, you're not going to win. My home league this week, my offense was trash. My IDP went berserk. Guess what happened? I won. So let's get to it. I've taken the time to put these graphs together. All of these graphs are going to show us the best teams to start your IDP against. And at this point in the season, we're only looking at top 10 teams in terms of giving up points to IDP at the defensive line, at linebacker, and at DB. If they're outside of the top 10, we're not even messing with them right now. That's how we're going to approach this. Let's get right into it. Our two defensive linemen are looking at our matchups this week. Tennessee Titans, the best team to start your defensive lineman against this week. Tennessee plays New England. New England has a nice little defensive end who is not rostered very highly, under 5% of leagues, Dietrich Weiss. He was out last week, week 11, with an illness, but played great in week 10. Weiss has shown in the right matchups that he can get to the quarterback, score points. Tennessee's giving up the most points to defensive linemen. Therefore, I'm picking Weiss up, putting a claim in, and I'm starting him comfortably as a DO2 this week. So, you look what he did against the Browns. Most IDP scoring formats, he had like 16, 17 points. If you can get that out of your defensive lineman, that's a great week. A really good week. So, Weiss, definitely, he's probably on that waiver. Put a claim in if you're needing help. Second defensive lineman, Dwayne Smoot, Jacksonville. Another great matchup this week going against Atlanta. Smoot, I know he put up a goose egg week 11, and I know it's going to be hard to trust him. But if we look and see what he did the prior 3 weeks, he averaged 11 points a week. The prior 3 weeks to last week. So based on those numbers and based on the matchup, we have to trust ourselves, trust the numbers, pick him up, and play him if we're hurting this week at DLine. You may have injuries, you may have bye weeks. You may not have any better options. And I know it's hard to trust players that just threw up a goose egg. I hate doing it personally, but in this situation, I feel like the matchup is too good, and Smoot's recent production has been too high not to throw him back out there. So I give him another chance. Pick him up. Obviously, I'm going to prioritize Weiss over Smoot this week, but if I have to pick up Smoot and I have to start him, I'm expecting DO2, DO3 numbers. Moving to linebacker. Much as Tennessee has been the best team to start your linemen against, Detroit has been the best team to start your linebackers against. Detroit plays, obviously, Thanksgiving this week. They're playing the Bears. You're not picking up Roquan Smith off waivers, but you can pick up Alec Ogletree, another player rostered in under 5% of leagues. And Ogletree has settled into a very solid, dependable, safe LB3 since week 4. You look at his numbers since week 4, he's averaging 12 points a week. I'll take that from an LB3 or 4, period. You give me 12 points a week and I can plug you in and get those points, I'm cool with that. You should be too. And going against Detroit this week, there's a chance that number goes even higher. You know, if his floor is 12, by having the best matchup gets us 15, 16 points, it may not sound like a lot, but 3 points can make the difference between a win or a loss. And we cannot afford any more losses going forward. If you're not in the playoffs, you're trying to get into it. If you're looking like you have it locked up, you're trying to win your division, or you're trying to get that number 1 seed, whatever the situation may be, we cannot afford any more L's going forward, period. So, Ogletree, another player, not rostered very heavily, has a great matchup. I'd pick him up and I would start him safely as an LB3 this week. Going back to the New England side of things, Juwan Bentley, another great matchup. Tennessee, not only are they the best team to start your defensive lineman against, they're the second best team to start your linebackers against. So Bentley, another great matchup. Much like Ogletree, Bentley has averaged 12 points per week since week 4. So if we're looking at him is another solid LB3, LB4 in that range with a great matchup. Again, both of these, and Bentley, out of everyone, he's the most rostered player at 7% on my fantasy league, but even 7% is not high, you know? So Bentley most likely sitting on waivers, and he's someone you can comfortably start in that LB3, LB4 role. And if you're hurting, if you're really desperate this week at linebacker and you can get both of these guys in Bentley and Ogletree, you know, that could end up working out for you. You could have two starters at LB just sitting on the bench or on waivers right now with great matchups. They have the two best matchups this week. So definitely look at Bentley. Now we're going to look at the DB side of things. So the best team to start our DBs against is going to be the New England Patriots. So New England's going against Tennessee. I just don't feel comfortable starting any of those DBs in like these deep waiver wire pickups like so far at week 12 into the season. So we're going to go down the list just a little bit because I feel like there's players that have more upside. Okay. We're going to start with Brandon Facyson, Raiders. So the Raiders have the third best lineup this week or matchup this week going against the Cowboys. Facyson, since, I don't know, it's been like 5 weeks now, he's putting up numbers. I'll put his stats up. He has not scored below double digits. You know, he's been a very solid 13 points per week the last 5 weeks. And he has a great matchup this week with Dallas. So to me, Facyson, based on recent production, you know, we're seeing 5 straight weeks of double-digit points. That's number one. And number two, a great matchup against Dallas. I feel like he's rostered in under 1% of leagues on my fantasy league. So 100%, he's sitting on waivers right now. And he's going to be a very solid DB2, DB3 this week. If you need a DB, like he's my number one pickup this week. I know Cooper's out. We're going to see what happens with CD Lamb, but it's still Dak and still Dallas. They're still going to throw the ball. You know, I think Facyson's going to have a pretty good weekend. I need DBs this week. So he's one of my pickups I'm going to pick up and start for sure. He's definitely available in your league. So our second DB, another really good matchup this week, is going to be Marcus Williams, New Orleans Saints. Williams has been more of a, you know, free safety, playmaker type player for IDP. He's always been a really good player in real life, but a poor IDP player based on where he's played. The last 4 weeks, though, he's averaging 12 points per game. He's had like 19 tackles, 3 passes defensed. So he's getting more involved in that side of things. They've got a great matchup, the number 4 matchup for DBs against Buffalo. You know Josh Allen, A, he's going to throw the ball. He's going to throw it a lot. And B, he's going to run a lot, which leads to opportunities for our safeties to track those quarterbacks down. So when you look at Williams, you look at the matchup, you look at the recent production, another safe play this week. He's rostered in 4-5% of leagues. Another guy you can pick up. He's sitting on waivers. A very safe DB2, DB3, I feel, this week, week 12. So those are going to be our 6 players for the IDP side of things. I feel like all 6 have upside this week. All 6 are likely sitting on waivers. And all 6 can be picked up and started. So if you enjoy the content, get anything out of it, I would appreciate a subscription. May not be today, may not be tomorrow, but pick up a couple of these guys, throw them in your lineup, see the production, remember the video. I'd appreciate it. So, Dynamo Nation, let's get to it. Again, week 12, we have to win. We have to start knocking these victories out. No more losses. We're not taking any more L's from Dynamo Nation. We're plugging through. This is the playoff time. In-season management is where it's going to make or break you, 100%. And that's where we're at, the nitty-gritty part of the season. So if you're still here, you're still with me, let's keep rocking it. Let's pick these players up, throw them in those lineups, and let's get that W this week. All right? Everyone stay safe. Have a great week. I'll see you.